All right, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to new distributor training for Zija International. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija, and I get to be the host today. This is a very special day in Zija land, and we're going to be going through a lot of things this morning. First, I want to extend a very warm welcome to all of you that are part of our field leadership team. I'm looking at the list of people that have joined the call. I'm seeing, in many cases, the who's who of Zija field leadership. Many of our brand new distributors, and I want to extend a very special warm welcome to those of you that are brand new distributors with Zija, because that's really what this this environment, this time is for, is to help you in your ability to get off to a fast start and fulfill, whatever your goals and aspirations, your dreams are of creating a home-based business, getting the kinds of financial security, time freedom, and just the fun in life that can come from our type of home-based business. And I want to start by prefacing this. Saturday morning new distributor training is not the same thing every day. We utilize this time to enhance, to build upon, to drill down into different aspects of what it is we do in network marketing. And so if you are really a brand new distributor, or even if you've been involved in network marketing in the past and you're new to Zija, I encourage you to do this. You should put this in your notes. We have prepared a few short videos that will help you come up to speed, to understand, what we do in network marketing and how we do it. And that's what most people want. If you've never been involved, maybe in your own business, or in particular in the field of network marketing, what do we do? What is network marketing? What do we do and how do we do it? There is a 30-minute video that explains that and gives you the details on the specifics, what it is that we are doing to create a substantial residual income from home, part-time, while, obviously this is the only thing I do, but it is a very part-time business, and the system that will give you the success that you're looking for. There are 3 additional little videos we've prepared that'll help you get off to a fast start. The basics, how to get, how to develop a prospect list, how to create your own personal success story in Zija, the 90-day game plan to launch your business. And I really encourage you to take advantage of those to kind of bring yourself up to speed, because on Saturday morning, we're going to then expand on those topics. We're going to drill down. We usually have a period of time for question and answer where you can literally have somebody who's one of our top field leaders answer your specific questions. Now, you can get access to those videos. Go to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com, www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija, all spelled together. Fred Holmes, Holmes is Holmes, Fred Holmes Zija. youtube.com, Fred Holmes Zija. Click on playlist and you will see those 4 videos. So put that in your to-do list. Make that part, especially for those of you that are either brand new to network marketing or brand new to Zija. Learn what it is that we're doing to create this level of success. Now, today, our topic of today is what you can do in the next 28 days to materially advance your Zija business. Now, there's a specific reason why I'm saying the next 28 days. And that's because in 28 days, we are going to have the International Zija Convention in Orlando. It's going to start, let's see, October, I should actually have this, sorry. October 5, 6, and 7, or 4, 5, and 6. It's 28 days from now. So you're going to have to do the math for me, because I can't do math without my calculator. I am going to talk about those specifics, and then I'm going to invite Pat Andersen to join me. Pat Andersen, for those of you that don't recognize the name, that means you're really new to Zija. Pat Andersen is one of our top 10 distributors. She has, without question, hands down, the fastest growing organization in Zija International. She was part of the group of us that were in Salt Lake City. We flew in to meet with the owner of the company, the president, the vice president, to work out the final details of the launch of Zija International. Now, when I say the launch of Zija International, somebody will say, well, I thought you guys were over 10 years old. We've been 10 years in the formulation stage. This is very common for long-term or legacy companies. I've been fortunate that I've been with 3 companies, and of those 3 companies, all 3 of those companies have been, long-term, successful, multi-billion-dollar companies. One of those companies today is a $4 billion a year company. And so, I have a frame of reference, a perspective on the industry that's different than most people, because frankly, most of these types of companies don't stick around very long. I already know, and knew this the day I started with Zija, that there would be an evolution of this company. The best example I can give is that, if you're a race car driver and you're running in a class of race cars that are, I don't know, Volkswagens, for instance, there's only so fast you can go. If you want to go fast, you're going to have to change the vehicle. Okay, you're going to have to improve on the vehicle. And that's what's been happening with Zija, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's get back to today's agenda. I want to take the next few minutes and share with you a few things that you can do. And here I'm kind of, both for the brand new distributor, but in particular, I'm addressing those of you that have been with us for a while. Many of you, as I'm looking on the list of attendees right now, I know there's a number of you I already know that are already registered to be at the convention. And here's what commonly happens. As we start to approach the big event, people start to invest their time in preparation for attending the big event, as opposed to what we should be doing. We should be doing, at every opportune moment, is investing our time in building our business. The convention, while this is going to be a very significant event, both in your Zija career, but even more importantly, in the history of Zija, in the preparation of carrying Zija to the next level, this is going to be a significant event. But it's kind of like, the big family vacation you've been planning for a few years, right? You start getting close to it, and it's almost kind of like everything kind of comes to an end, and you're thinking about the big vacation, and we're going to get on the airplane, and we're going to go to the islands, and you're not really focusing on what you need to do today. And that's kind of what I want to talk about right now. Let me tell you what all of the top income earners in Zija are doing. First of all, they're not worrying about convention, in the sense that they're not planning for it. They're not making plane tickets are already bought. Hotel rooms are already scheduled. I've already got the parking garage where I park my car at LAX. That's already been booked. The driver is picking me up in Orlando and taking me to the hotel. That's already been booked. Everything's already done. Now that's set aside. I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm worried about right now is, what can I do to materially advance my business in the next 28 days? And I caught a couple of things for you. You may want to put this in your notes. And for those of you that are wondering what happened to Fred, guess what? I got my journal. Okay, everybody's accustomed when I host and I'm not the only person that does Saturday morning new distributor training. There's a few of us that participate. So if you don't like me, next Saturday you'll have somebody else to be your trainer. But I always have my journal, because this has been foundational to my success in this industry, is having a place to gather the information. See, it's one thing to know what to do. That's not going to help you. That's not going to carry you very far. You're going to miss out on one of the major components of our business, which is leverage. Every hour that I put into my Zija business is, several thousand hours of productivity because I've learned a simple system I've been able to teach others, who have then been able to teach others, and it's duplicated the organization. And imagine putting in 1 hour today to your business and having 1,000 other distributors putting in 1 hour that you get to receive an override commission on their efforts. That's leverage. So you may want to put this in your journal. Okay, couple of things. The most important thing to understand is what we do every single day. It's going back to the basics. And I'm going to suggest you put that in your notes. What do you do for the next 28 days? Go back to the basics. There is no better time than now to launch your Zija business. And for those of you that have been involved in Zija, and I'm looking at some people that have been with us for several years now, and some of our top income earners, and they'll share the same thing with you. Every single day, we launch our business, okay? The people I speak to today about the product, I've never spoken to before, or I'm following up on, okay? I'm gonna share the product, I'm gonna share the opportunity, I'm gonna teach others to do the same. Those are the foundational elements, if you will, the success activities that are gonna create, you know, in many cases, unbelievable levels of income in Zija. And so, there is no better time than today to launch or relaunch your Zija business. And so you have to understand what to do from the beginning. You know, start out with the end in mind. What do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to accomplish this week, this month, this year, the next 5 years? And if you already have in mind where you're going, it's a lot easier to get there than it is to try and get someplace and you don't know where that is. How many people am I going to talk to about the product, the opportunity today? How many people, if I'm doing that today over the next week, how many people can I anticipate getting to start using my products, i.e. get a new customer or get a new distributor? And what can I do over the next 4 weeks in terms of building a business, you know, new customers, new distributors, and helping my new distributors get their first couple of customers, their first couple of distributors. And then parlay that into knowing where I want to be 12 months from now, and then knowing where I want to be 3 to 5 years from now. That, it seems simple, folks, but you want to make sure you don't let the simplicity you know, obscure the significance of what I'm saying. What you do today will compound over the next week to give you a week's result. What you do this week will compound over the next 4 weeks to give you a monthly result. What you do over the next 12 months will compound to give you that first year's results, and whatever you do over this first year will compound over the next 3 to 5 years. And for me personally, 36 months set up the rest of my life with Zija. 36 months. From the day I started, 36 months later, my business was in place and I didn't have to do anything else again to secure my financial independence. What I do today is to assist others in securing their financial independence. So go back to the basics. Step number 1, create another prospect list. You cannot talk to 1 or 2 or 3 people about the product today if you don't have those 1 or 2 or 3 people in mind to talk to. Okay, now that could be as simple as, you know, we're going to be barbecuing at Bob's house. I am going to find a time at Bob's house to speak to 1 or 2 people about the product. Now that doesn't mean you're going to go badger people and be that MLM person nobody wants to talk to and nobody invites to the barbecue. Focus on listening. Focus on what people are saying. On the way back from Salt Lake City, I had to drop my car off at the shop, have them look at something that they need to fix, and I had my Zija with me. And as I'm paying for something they forgot to charge me for last time, the little gal there, Natasha, she's going, "What's that?" And I said, "This is all the nutrition that my body needs on a daily basis to keep me healthy, active, and looking damn good for 65, right, or 64. And she goes, "Wow, I need that. I need more energy." We started talking, and fortunately, because I was traveling, I had some extra samples with me. I got a new customer. Every opportune moment, listen to what people are saying. If there is a need for your product or your opportunity, then offer them that. That's, that could be your mode of operation. Some people do that. They just head out and engage people in conversations, go to groups, bowling, whatever, and listen for an opportunity to share your product. Make the list, the memory jogger. If you don't have a memory jogger, get a hold of your upline diamond. They've got one. A memory jogger is a simple little paper pencil tool that will help you generate a large number of prospective customers and prospective distributors to talk to. And be very clear on this. There's no magic to what we do. Here's what we know. Everybody out there can use our products. Every single person needs to use our products. Doesn't mean everybody's going to, but everybody needs to. Now, unless you tell them about our products, they don't know they exist. Now, here's something else we know. Every single person out there falls into one or more of the three categories of people we're looking for to advance our business, distributors, okay? They either want more money, more free time, or more fun in their life. Think about this for a minute. Who do you know would like to have more money, more free time, or more fun in their life? Switch the question around. Because see, some people say, well, I can think of a few people, so let me change the question. Who do you know wouldn't want more money, wouldn't want more free time, or wouldn't want more fun? Who do you know doesn't want more money, more free time, or more fun? Nobody. Everybody wants that. Now, not everybody's going to do what we do, okay? But everybody wants what we have, and they don't know what we have unless you share it with them. And so all you have to do is, if you were to write down the list of 100 names of people that would recognize who you were if you contacted them, I'm going to tell you right now, law of averages are that 10 of those people will join your business as distributors. That's a law of average. There'll be another 10 or 20 of those people that will buy your product, and many of those people will go on to be your best distributors. And if you look at the top income earners in this company, they can count on one hand, maybe a couple of extra fingers left over, of the people that they have brought into their Zija business that have gone on to create, 80% of their success. And when you look at what the top income earners in this company earn, 80% of the 80% of my paycheck, folks, that's a big deal. Okay, so it just doesn't take that many people. Put together a new list. Number 2, focus on your DMO, daily method of operation. How do you do our business? One day at a time. We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. Focus on your daily method of operation. Set aside time, and I don't care if it's 15 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes during your lunch break from work, 30 minutes in the evening after you've got the kids' dinner or what have you. You add that up, all of a sudden you've got an hour and a half into your Zija business. Invest in your business. Invest time in your business. Invest your resources into your business. Now, when I say invest resources, invest in getting some extra product to sample out to others. Invest in your personal development. Invest in your skill sets development. Talk to your upline diamonds. They'll recommend a book to purchase. They'll recommend a webinar series to attend. Invest your time and resources in getting to the convention, okay? And yes, it is an investment in time. It is an investment in financial resources. But think about this for a minute. Most of the people that have invested in their business with an eye towards creating success have invested substantially more money and substantially more time than we do in network marketing to invest in our business, and they make substantially less than what we make. Okay, there's a clue there. If you just sunk, 50, 100, 200, $300,000 into a brand new business, I guarantee you'd be at your shop and unlock the door and put out the open for business sign first thing in the morning, no matter what. Why? Because you just invested, $100,000 or $250,000 or more in a business. You need to think about the same level of commitment to your Zija business, independent of the dollar amount that you invested in your Zija business. Focus on your the daily method of operation. Invest in your business, invest time, invest resources, and finally, hold yourself accountable. See, people will continue to open up their shop, the building that they paid for, the inventory, they've got, $500,000 investment, they've got employees, they will continue to open up those doors every single morning at whatever time they open, 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever. They'll do it every single day. Nobody has to hold them accountable for their activities because they've got too much to lose. In network marketing, in Zija, you don't have that much to lose other than financial security for you and your family, the ability to spend time with your children and your loved ones while you still can, and the ability to secure the future for the people that you love. Okay, that's all you have to lose if you don't do Zija. For me, this has been an opportunity to provide for my mother, for my children, and for my grandchildren. And along the way, I've also had a lot of fun. Okay, so memory jogger, create a new list, focus on a daily method of operation, invest in your business, hold yourself accountable, and then one last thing. Do focus the next 28 days on the convention in Orlando. If you really want to be part of what's going to happen with Zija as we move from today into Zija 2.0, launching at convention, and what will happen with this company over the next 3 to 5 years, if you really want to be a part of that, you're going to be in Orlando. And I don't care how you get there. I know people that are driving 2 days nonstop to be at convention because they got people to bring with them. And let's face it, a couple $100 worth of gas buys one plane ticket, but you can put 8 people in a car, right? Not in my car. Well, one person in my car. Well, 2 if you count the person next to me, and I don't really actually have people ride with me in my car. I find the screaming to be really distracting when I'm driving at those speeds. But be at convention. Now, for those of you that have an existing organization, I don't care how big the organization is. You could have, a handful of people. You could have 100 people. You could have 1,000 people. You could have 10,000 people. Okay, focus on getting as many of your existing team members to the convention. Now, let me give you one more simple little tip, and then I want to move into the second half of this morning. Here's your line. For everybody that you've spoken to, that could be customers, existing customers, it could be existing distributors that are kind of inactive, it could be people you've spoken to in the past that didn't use your product or they didn't join your business. Here's a quick question for you. Who do you know lives in Florida? Geez, my parents live in Florida. Why? Well, because I've got a major event with my company going on in Orlando. I'm looking for people in the general area. I'm looking for referrals of people that are interested in getting into better health, living longer, looking better, or making a lot of money. Who do you know that might know somebody in Florida that would be interested in looking better, living longer, being in better health, or making a lot of money? Okay, if you do that, let me just be real simple here. Do that 2 or 3 times a day. Do it for the next 28 days, and you will have 1 or more additional members going to Orlando. Okay, just as simple as that. So, a few things that you can do over the next 28 days to make a material difference in your business for the balance of this year, and then parlay that into 2019, there is no better time than now to build your business. Now, I'm going to bring over Pat. I see you got off your conference. I'm going to bring you over. Heads up, I'm bringing you over to this side of the webinar. And I see a lot of notes of people with the chat box. I'm going to go ahead and check that out while I'm visiting with Pat. And I'll bring Pat over here. And let me preface this by saying there's a lot that we can't talk with you about. Just unmuted you, Pat. Hey, Pat, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, I am fired up. I'm loaded for bear. I'm ready to go. I got a double shot of Limitless in here. Yeah. Pat, you should have seen her rolling her eyes at me when we were in Salt Lake City here this past couple of days. Every time I go grab another XM Plus or another Limitless, she'd look at me like, seriously? Is that your third one? Well, I rolled in there with no sleeping, but I didn't want to miss anything. So let me just tell you, Limitless works. Okay. Now,
a good product.
I want to preface. I asked Pat to join us, join me today to kind of do a. We're going to utilize this part of new distributor training as kind of a team meeting. Bring you some of the updates from the time we spent there in Salt Lake City with the corporate team. But I want to preface this. There is an awful lot of specifics that you want to hear. We're not going to share with you, okay, because we can't. There's a lot of reasons for this. I just want to tell you, and we're not trying to keep secrets. I was, and I had the same thing. I got my pal here, and I just did this on a small group meeting. I said, I know you guys want all the secrets, so I've got the documents right here. See, you can see everything. Got all the documents right here. Here's the other stuff we got, and right there, it says confidential. I'm going to share all of that with you. See? No, there's a lot of things that the specifics we can't share with you. But I asked Pat to join me today because what we do want to do is we want to be able to help you see what is about to happen with this company. And frankly, there's nobody that is better in a better position to actually give you that clarity of vision than Pat Andersen. Now, for those of you that are relatively new to Zija or new to our Saturday morning new distributor training, if you're not familiar with Pat's name, Pat Andersen is one of our top income earners in the company, well into the top 10, okay? And I'm going to tell you that more significantly than that, she has, hands down, without question, the fastest growing organization within the company, okay? Nobody. She's number one when it comes to growth in Zija today. And so I asked Pat if she'd take a few minutes out of her schedule to join us, as a benefit to the organization. Pat, I've kind of outlined what it is that's happening with Zija, and I'm going to kind of frame it up like this, and then maybe you can kind of fill in the things behind that. We're at a stage of development, and I mentioned this a bit earlier. I've got a little bit different frame of reference than most people. My very first company, I got them after their initial growth curve, then they went into an adjustment period, and then they went back into their second wave, and that second wave took them to $1 billion a year in annual sales. They've now been in business over 35 years, and they're a $4 billion a year company. My challenge was I was just starting in network marketing, and I got in after the first wave during that slower period of adjustment that was necessary for the next level of growth. But in retrospect, I can see what happened. Same thing with that second company. I got in that time on the beginning of the first wave, and then they went through their adjustment period. That's when I retired. Unfortunately, that company didn't have the long-term vision and wisdom and experience of Ken Brailsford, the owner of Zija, and they've never really gone much farther. When I saw Zija International, while I knew it was really, really early, that it was going to take a number of years to get through that to get into the first growth curve and then get through that, then the adjustment period. Because where do we all want to be? We want to be in that second wave that takes the company to $1 billion a year. And what we experienced in Salt Lake City this past couple of days, this week, was getting the information that was necessary for us to understand as leaders that's going to carry us to that $1 billion a year. And the way I characterize it is we're shedding the excess weight from the race car that was only going to slow us down. It may have been necessary to get us into the race, but it's only going to slow us down. But more importantly, we're designing the race car to move faster than ever before and to be bulletproof, so that when the amateurs, the novices bounce into us on the racetrack, it's not going to hurt us, but rather it's going to accelerate us. And we're going to have the tools, the performance vehicle, the leadership, the driver, okay, and we're going to be able to put those things together along with the safety measures in the car that'll keep us from being hurt on the racetrack and accelerate us to $1 billion a year. Now, that may not be the cleanest analogy, but it was the one that I came up with this morning. So, Pat, I know that, you sat right next to me. I was sitting right next to David. It was really kind of neat, the three musketeers sitting together. I honestly, folks, I just kept looking like this and looking like this. I'd look over to Pat to see her reaction. I'd look over to David to see his reaction. And that's what I based my reaction on, and a lot is what the masters in Zija are reacting. So with that frame up, Pat, why don't you share with the folks a little bit about, what you experienced there, what you can say, and really what we're looking for. Everybody wants to know, what do I got to do to be able to be part of that second wave?
Well, thank you so much, Fred. And I appreciate all you do here for the team, and it was great being with you this week. Number one, the most important was being able to talk to Ken. I was very fortunate with you and David to be at that very first meeting back in 2008 when Ken gave us his vision. And, I've stuck by that vision. He said to me, he says, Pat, he says, I want to take this company to $1 billion, but he says, I want to take it and help so many people change their lives. And that has always been, what I've stood for. And changing their lives can be with the product, because we know how great that is, or financially. And so I've worked hard, along with a lot of other ones, to achieve that over the last 10 years. Now, I'm so happy he's back. Now, don't get me wrong. Ryan and Jerem and all the crew were doing a great job, but they don't have his years of wisdom in this industry. And so what he's done is taken the great job that they've done, and then he's gone further. he's molded everything and put it back in line with his vision of where we need to go at different times. And so the Zija 2.0 is just, it's better than better. And I really like that in some ways it's gone back to how I started the business. And so even though I'm not going, told you so, I think I did tell David that. Hi,
Yep.
Fred. Because I knew back in 2008 what we needed to do. I'm really business minded, but I knew what we needed to do back then. And have we got off task a few times? Yes, but we are now so laser focused on what we're doing. And what we're doing, and I'm going to say it because I did get permission, is customers. I always felt, and that's how I started my business, was customers. I wanted my whole goal, and maybe come true, it might not. I would personally love to have 1,000 customers buying every single month, every single period, and receiving that residual income off those customers. And so when I started, and Fred will tell you, because he was doing all the work for me, I was just recruiting. I went after customers. And we put in like 150 customers in the first 60 days or so. And Fred did all the work. The easy part was just recruiting them. and I still have a lot of those people on board. But guess what? Some of those people are now my top distributors. Okay, so that's what people miss the boat at, is really developing your customers and creating that story for them so that they can now share. So our whole program that you're going to see at convention, the 2.0, is about the customers. And I am so excited about corporate's vision. It couldn't align better with what I've always preached. It's just absolutely, there's nothing about the 2.0 that I had problems with at all. And as most of you know that are on the call, I'm not afraid to voice if I have a problem. Oh, me? And I didn't complain at all, did I, Fred? Like, not one bit. It was just absolutely perfect. So I did a post here not too long ago, a little video about if we all just sponsored one more person, we'd double our business.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, and Ken, he called up and said, I like that. So, that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to sponsor one more person. Maybe we'll do it in the week, but we've got some people that maybe could do it in a month. Oh my gosh, that's going to double their business, right? Mm-hmm. And so let's look at that, and let's look at getting our customers on board. And then after they're on board, let's upgrade them to a distributor if they want to be. If they want to be. Don't go push them to be something they don't want to be. I would rather have a total loyal customer for the rest of my life than push somebody into a distributor where they're bombarded with everything from the company about building their business, and they quit on me because they only wanted to be a customer. All right? So one of the things I think we need to do as a whole is learn how to be better listeners. All right? We're too busy telling people what they should do versus listening to what they want to do. And that's my key. Over this next, if you do this, and that's, Reed and I were talking earlier, he was out prospecting a new customer. If you do this over the next 28 days and you are able to get as many customers as possible into your business, oh my gosh, I wish I could tell you what you're going to get. Oh, but I can't. We saw that confidential, but if you can trust me and Fred, you are going to be so rewarded. Now there's leaders on this call. You need to take this information and spread it out throughout your group so that we're all going out and getting customers over this next 28 days. This is if you want to know keys, this is a very, very important thing that we all need to do. We're going to get some to distributors, but don't force them into becoming a distributor unless they say, I want to start building and I have my first two right now. If they don't have their first two right now, put them in as a customer. Okay? Key. Hint.
You're really good. Okay? You said an awful lot and you didn't violate the confidentiality agreement. Folks, I want to point something out here. Because you may have missed a couple of things that Pat said, and you really need to understand what she just said. When you look at anything, okay, I don't care what the industry is, what the company is, what have you, look at the established, successful, tenured people, okay? Why is it that the people in their 40s, 50s, 60s at companies make more money than the people in their 20s? Because they've got experience, they've been there, they understand at a higher level. When I look at the landscape of Zija International today, and so some of you get the history, the company started with Ken wanting to bring this product to market, but Ken couldn't participate in the building of his company because he had committed to a mission with his church. And for those of you that know Ken, his commitment is everything. Okay, there is nothing more important than his word. And so he actually put the company into the hands of others to grow for the first couple of years. Then, and I remember this date, 08, August 8th of 2008, Ken completed his 3-year mission. He'd actually completed it in June. He came back to the company for the first time. He saw the offices he was paying for. and most of the staff that he was paying their salaries. And then Ken did his magic. He's one of the most wise, successful businessmen that I've ever met. He went and pulled in the purse strings, started putting directions together, and then he said, I want to meet the people that are going to build the company, and it's not the corporate team, it's the field leadership, the people that move the product. And he called a meeting, I believe it was like 50 of us. And I look at the landscape of Zija today, and there are only 3 people in Zija today that attended that very first meeting with Ken Brailsford when he got to meet the people that move the product. David Moses, Pat Andersen, and myself. And so from the very beginning of Zija, the 3 of us have been part and parcel of watching the growth, the evolution, the different stages, the first initial growth curve, building up to it, the reformulation stages we've been in. And when you can hear each one of us talking about what we have today is the greatest platform, the most exciting opportunity that we've ever seen, that speaks volumes. Now, one of the things that Pat was sharing with you is something that you should all understand. Our business is not recruiting distributors. Our business is creating a consumer base, people using the products. Now, there's a reason why Pat Andersen's business, and understand, I get to see an awful lot of Zija from my perspective. I get to know firsthand what's happening in the field from a dollar cent volume perspective. Pat Andersen has always had the most consistent and strongest paychecks in Zija because of her ability to base her business on a solid foundation of customers. And from those customers, we have developed many of our companies today, top distributors. Now, when I say consumer base, make no mistake about it. Am I looking for a new distributor? Of course I am. Okay, because let me tell you, financial lack, time freedom lack, enjoyment with life lack can be as significant as lack of health. Okay? Now, lack of, it's very hard to be happy with a fancy car if you're too sick to drive it. That's a fact, right? But, am I looking for a distributor? Of course I am, because that one distributor could bring me 100 customers or 1,000 customers or many thousands of customers. Thank you, Pat Andersen. And whether it's a customer or a distributor that uses the product every single month and orders every single month, that's a consumer. But be very clear on what Pat said, because this is going to be very important to your paycheck come October 6th, the launch of Zija 2.0. Customers are going to become incredibly valuable to you. Incredibly valuable to you. There is a reason for that. Our company is going to thrive in an ever-increasing environment of regulatory agencies going after entrepreneurs. Okay, make no mistake about it. We are the last bastion of true entrepreneurship in the network marketing industry, but there's only a handful of companies out there that are going to be billion-dollar companies. We're one of them. Now, Pat, there's some other things that are happening, and I don't know, we can't share specifics, but I think we can help people start to understand why Zija is going to grow so fast, and has everything to do with the enhancements, the additions to the compensation plan that are going to create greater income right away, as well as more rapid rank advancement. I know you can't talk about what those enhancements are, but maybe you can talk a little bit about the value to people that are focusing on a daily method of operation for their own personal financial gain as well as that of their team.
Oh boy, of course you give me a real hard one here because it's it's
And if you spill the beans, you did it, not me. See, they might fire me. I know they won't fire you.
okay. I can do this quote. Okay, it is better to prepare and prevent than it is to repair and repent. Okay, did you get that? It's better to prepare. So, and are we asking you to prepare and prevent some mistakes that could happen than to repair and repent? That is really, really important for what we're doing. Okay, I love it. Absolutely love it. So, what I'm doing right now is getting my ducks in order. Okay, I'm going and talking to all my leaders. I'm going to tell them what needs to be done and how we need to do it. There's going to be more rank advancements happening in October and November than they had in all of the rest of 2018.
Yep. Oh, we lose Pat. Okay.
Okay, so that's a clue. That's a bit calling me on my. It's okay. David was just calling me and interrupted my computer. Okay, so you it's going to. I know he does. It's going to allow us to build faster and deeper in depth what they've put together. All right. So once again, the only thing I can really talk about is what you need to do right now. And right now, between now and October the 4th, you need to be recruiting. You need to have got your lists and start calling people, do your social media, do however you are building your business. You need to start right now. And as Fred said, I'm a big proponent of doing it in 15-minute increments. You guys have at least 40 increments. That's 10 hours a week that you can get busy doing this, even if you've got a full-time job. All right? I want to tell you a little story. And this is kind of true. I have a girlfriend, when I got into Zija, she bought 5 McDonald's franchises. 5. The same time. You know, Fred knows this story. She spent over $5 million. I spent $1,300. In the first 3 years, I made 7 times the income that she made. She never got into profitability before she ended up selling them. At the time of selling, yes, she got money for it. But she was working 100 hours a week, running ragged, and I wasn't. I'm going to tell you, and Fred, this is not a good thing, but it is a good thing. I built this business on what, Fred, 10 to 20 hours a week?
Maybe.
That's
in the beginning, maybe.
Maybe, not even that many hours. But I am so into my time management and how I work those 10 to 20 hours. I work them really hard. I take it serious. So my 10 to 20 is probably like a lot of people's 40 to 60 hours. And so she was running around ragged. I think she got sick, everything, because she was working 100 hours a week to try to create that big dream. I've still made more money, especially now, than she ever made on those 5 McDonald's franchises. And as I said, she sold them, and guess where she is?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So we're about to launch her business. So you know what? You really have to look at all different people and don't prejudge them. Go change your list. Go after people that maybe have money, maybe have businesses, but they're sick of working that 100 hours a week. Okay? When Fred approached me, we were making darn good income. It had nothing to do with the income, but I needed the product. And then once I realized what this profession was all about, I needed to retire my husband. So that was my goal for the first 5 years, was to create enough income that I could surpass his oil field income, which was pretty substantial. And we did that, and he's been retired 6 years now, I believe. So it took me 4 years to replace his income, which I think was pretty darn good. But I want you to start looking at other people. Don't go after people who actually need the business. Go after people who want the business. All right? There's a big difference between the two. All right? People who can look at the vision and say, you know what? I want that time freedom. I want all of those things that this type of profession can offer you. Go start looking for those people, and you're going to see your business shift. All right. So like, who did I go after? I went after Dr. Noreen Ziegler, who went after Ann Dong, who went after Joyce Benning and Pat Christensen, who went after Homer Crable. Like, we went after people who didn't need this business, and it exploded mine. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, take a little maybe different look at the people that you're prospecting right now, because it could, I don't know, Fred, it could maybe change a few people's outcome.
You know, and I guess really for some of you that have been around for a while, you might be thinking, you know, it sounds like what I've been hearing for a long time. Yes. How you build a network marketing business is a relatively simple thing. There is a difference between, I mean, think about it for a minute. We all sell the same product. There is no secret Zija product that only Pat Andersen and Fred Holmes get to sell. Okay. We sell the same things you do. And there is no secret extra compensation plan that pays me and Pat more money than anybody else. Okay. We all have the same compensation plan, pay plan. We have the same product. So what's the difference between somebody that makes $100 a week versus $100 a day? What's the difference of those two people? It's the person and what they do. What's the difference between somebody that makes $1,000 a month and $1,000 a week? It's the person and what they do. What's the difference between somebody who makes $1,000 a week and $1,000 a day? Same thing. It's the way they think, what they do. Now, let me tell you what Pat Andersen has been doing. Pat Andersen, since the beginning of this year, and if you don't mind me speaking out of school, Pat, I don't know if you heard me. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Beginning of the year, Pat made a commitment. He said, Fred, I'm going to the top. Okay? I'm going to be the top producing distributor in this company. And I told her, of course you are. Just because whatever Pat Andersen says she's going to do, she's going to do. That part you can take to the bank. Now, in terms of Pat, she has been working at 100% capacity. Now, I'm not suggesting to you you're going to be able to do what Pat does, okay? But each one of us can work at 100% of our capacity. Now, the key is she focused on putting everything she could into her Zija business, all the available time that was for her, because she knows what's going to happen 5 years from now. And she's been consistent every single day. And I'm pointing this out, folks, because I want you to understand. You can do the same things that Pat Andersen's doing at the level of your capacity. But what all of us can do is be consistent on a daily basis. If you talk to one person a day about the product, after 365 days, you're going to have a lot of customers. What has Pat done? She has focused in, and she's very efficient with her time. I'm going to tell you that. That's the one thing I love about Pat, and I wish I could emulate how efficient she is with her time. But she has been consistent and has had record-setting growth in one of what is historically the weakest months August is the weakest month of the Zija calendar, of the multi-level calendar. And she has had incredible growth. I mean, record-setting growth. I don't think you've ever had an August like you just had, Pat, ever. But what did she do? She made a commitment at the beginning of the year. She is working at, full speed for her, okay? And she was consistent. And the law of averages, the compounding effect is what has created what she has today. And of course, let me tell you what everybody was doing, not necessarily in front of her, but they were coming to me and they go, what the heck is Pat doing? What's she doing? Because everybody wants to get what she's got. And guess what she's doing? What we've been talking about. Now, the sense of urgency. There are times when you can put in X amount of effort and get Y amount of results. There are times when you can put in the same amount of effort and get 2 or 3 or 4 times the results. That has to do with momentum of the company. And today, the little things that we didn't say, you should have been picking up on. The value of a customer is going to be way bigger in 28 days than it's ever been before in Zija. Tons more money. So why are you hesitating to tell your best friend or your aunt or your parents or your mother you're fat and you need to lose some weight? Why aren't you telling them that? Okay?
Well, be nice, be nice, be nice.
One more limitless, and I'm going to tell them they're fat and ugly. They need our skincare and... Okay. And another thing Pat shared with you, okay? Stop talking to people that need this. Everybody needs this, okay? Guess what? There's a reason why 40% of our country is living off of the money that we are making. There's always going to be that group of people that need it. Look for the people that want what we have. Mm-hmm. Pat Andersen just told you about a woman that invested over $5 million in businesses that she never got into profitability and didn't make her money back until she sold the businesses, which cut off her income stream. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So we're getting to the top of the hour here, and we're ready to close down, Pat. I appreciate your perspective and the things you've been sharing, because if people have been able to read between the lines, they should be aware that this past year, corporate has been at the home office. They have been putting together the infrastructure necessary for us to go to light speed, okay, compared to where we've been. Those of us that are going to be involved in the field, sharing the product, sharing the opportunity, teaching others to do the same, we're going to be able to take advantage of this incredibly accelerated path to success. You have been critical to the success of Zija in the field, and today you're operating at a level that is well beyond 99.99% of the people that are involved in Zija, and anything that you say that people pay attention to is going to benefit them. Can you share, one or two things in our closing moments of if you were to take somebody you loved and you cared about, that you really wanted to see them be successful, what would you tell them to do today?
Well, I just actually got off a Zoom with Casey Michaud and Shelley, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I told her. I said, if you're going to get into this business, what I want to know is who are your first two people that you would give anything to work with, and that I can help you bring them on board. And she says, I have them already. I said, then we're ready to go. So Shelley is signing up after we're done the Zoom. I think she's on it right now with us, and she's going to be signing up her two people. You have to be there in hand. You have to walk the walk. There's not one person on this call that should be in management mode. And I just took a look at who's on the call, from Reed Nelson to Mac McDonald, Candace Smiley, all the leaders. None of us are in management mode, okay? Are we busy with our teams and helping them? Yes. But at this point right now, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be blocking off even more time on my schedule that I need to go out and recruit, okay? I need to help get more customers to bring them in because of what's going to happen. And of course, where do those customers go? They go into my organization. But this is really important that we all, no matter the size of our team, go out there and do the deal. We've got to lead by example. So everybody on the call is a leader. So I want you to lead your team and show them how we do it.
Excellent, Pat. Listen, I really appreciate it. It was great spending time with you. We had a lot of fun, got to meet Agnes and Gennady. We had some good dinners, and it was a great time in Salt Lake, but more importantly, it was a great time to be able to watch what you've done. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm so proud of the growth that you are the leader in Zija, Pat, and I'm humbled that you're a part of this team. Folks, we're going to go ahead and close it down. There was a Peter Doss. Reach out to me or your upline diamond. Take care of that question, buddy, because it's only going to be an obstacle to you. If you understood the real deal, you wouldn't even ask the question. Peter, reach out to myself, Pat Andersen, or your upline diamond. We'll handle that problem. Get out of your own way. Let's go do the deal. Don't be here a year from now saying, geez, I wish I would have done the deal. Be the one a year from now going, I did the deal. Pat, thank you, my dear. All right, folks, we'll upload this. I'll let Pat go back to the other side. I want to do one quick announcement. Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Now, a couple quick announcements. Yeah, 28 days. If you want to know what to do, follow the leader. Follow what David Moses is doing, what Pat Andersen's doing, what I'm doing, and then all of the field leaders. You heard, you know, Reed and Mac and Pat Terry and people. Now's the time to do the deal. Don't be waiting. Don't wait to see, because you're going to miss out. You got a lot of gems this morning. We are continuing the process to support your efforts. David Moses, Monday night, Facebook Live leadership training. Tuesday evening, Pat doing the virtual, you know, webinar business presentation. Wednesday evening, Pat Andersen, Health Talks with Pat. Thursday evening, Biz Talks. I don't know if I'm doing this Thursday or not. I haven't looked at my calendar. Go to clubmoringa.com for Pat's broadcast. Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija for this particular meeting's replay and all of the broadcasts we do and the new distributor training. And with that, I think we're going to close it out. Let me just do one quick last look here. All right, very good. I think we're all set. Folks, it's been a lot of fun. I hope you had as much fun as we did this morning. And we'll see you Monday night for David Moses Facebook Live Leadership Training. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.